Okay, so now I'm going to continue our discussion of pronouns. In the first video, we talked about hic, haec, hoc, illa, illa, illud, and is, ea, id. We're going to start this video with the relative pronoun qui. This is the pronoun we use when we say the girl who went to the store, the book which I read last week. It refers to an antecedent and relates, hence the relative pronoun, a dependent clause to the main part of the sentence, to the main clause. So we need to set up for qui, quae, quod, qui, quae, quod, qui, quae, quod. And we need a singular and a plural. We need a masculine, feminine, neuter, masculine, feminine, neuter. We need our cases, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative. Like our other pronouns, hic, haec, hoc, and illa, illa, illud, we learn these pronouns in rows, not columns. We learn our nominative forms, then our genitive forms, and that's the way we chant it. It reveals more patterns, learning it in rows than columns. So we have qui, quae, quod. Cuius, cuius, cuius. If you've already watched the hic, haec, hoc video, that uius will sound quite similar. Qui, qui, qui. Quem, quam, quod. The quod, because it's the neuter, it's going to stay the same in the nominative and the accusative. And quem, that's more like our third declension, blankus em, instead of the quum, quem. Quo, qua, qua, quo. And then our plural, we see the qui carries over, quae, quae. I do not know, I have no idea how those neuters ended up with the extra E. We don't have a qua with the short A, so maybe that is a hard thing to say. I don't know. Quorum, quorum, quorum. Now we're pulling heavily off of those first and second declension endings. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Now, our book, the red one, Cambridge Students' Latin Grammar, says that this can also be quis, quis, quis. For the life of me, today, I cannot remember which I learned. I meant to look it up in my book before I did this, and I forgot. But it can be quis for all three of these, in addition to quibus. And I will look up to see what I was taught. Quos, quas, quae, because remember that neuter, a nominative and accusative stay the same. And then we have the same ablative as dative, either quibus, 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 or quis, quis, quis. I'm going to write quibus. I will add a quis here just so we remember. Again, like hic, haec, hoc, I'll go through and chant it now. Qui, quae, quod. Quis, quis, quis. Qui, qui, qui. Quem, quam, quod. Quo, qua, I missed my long mark, quo. Qui, quae, quae. Quorum, quorum, quorum. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Quos, quas, quae. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Who, our objective of who in English is whom. to whom, for whom, by, with, or from whom, but who is would be this, the nominative form. And then which, we don't really have an objective form. So whether it is which is a good plan, or to or for which plan, or to or for which, question mark, all would be the same in English. Now that's the relative pronoun. Originally, this is take 2 of this file. I looked at quidam, meaning one or a certain, next. I'm not going to copy that one over. The plurals are so long that I ran out of room on the page. I could not write it small enough. I'm going to say them out loud. If we remember our qui, quae, quod, and we see a form that looks like qui, quae, quod, but with a dam on the end, we need to look up quidam, which means one or a certain. Quidam, quidam, quodam. Cuiusdam, cuiusdam, cuiusdam. Quidam, quidam, quidam. Quendam, so that M goes to an N. Quandam, quodam, double D's. Quoddam. Quodam, quadam, quodam. Quidam, quidam, quidam. Corundam, so that's that quorum, the M goes to an N with the dam. Corundam, corundam. Quibusdam, quibusdam, quibusdam. Quasdam, quosdam, quasdam, quidam. Quibusdam, quibusdam, quibusdam. So you see a dam on something that looks like it's a qui, quae, quod, maybe with an MN shift. Look up quidam. Quidam, meaning one or a certain. Like, did you go to the island? A certain island? Or did you go to any island? This would be the one island, a certain island. Now let's look at quis, quid. This is an interrogative. Interrogative pronoun. Instead of relating who or which did something or something was done to them, this is who or what. So again, we have singular, plural, and we need masculine, feminine, and neuter. Masculine, feminine, neuter. We need our nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. What are the forms? Quis, it's interesting because I was thinking I learned this as a 2, but I guess not. Quis, quis, quid. Cuius, cuius, cuius. Qui, qui, qui. Quem, quam, quid. Quo, qua, quo. Qui, quae, quae. Q, U, A, E. My pen got off sync with my brain. Quorum, quorum, quorum. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Quos, quas, quae. Quibus, quibus, quibus. Again, as I get to the end of my final quibus, I will chant them because that is the way we get it deep inside that brain. Quis, quis, quid, Quis, cuius, cuius, qui, quem, quam, quid, quo, qua, quo, qui, quae, quorum, quibus, quos, quas, quae, quibus. Who is the teacher? Quis est magistra, sum magistra. To whom did you give the gift? So, you give, did you give? So I need isti, dedisti, to whom, qui, dedisti qui donum? To whom did you give the gift? Dedi, donum, discupuli. I gave the gift to the student, the female student, dative, feminine, singular. Quis, quid, who, what. I think that brings us to the end. For reference, I meant to mention Quae, Quod is on page 21 of the Cambridge Handbook of Student Grammar, and there are examples on page 22. Also, it says in section 23.1, so that's not page 23.1. Section 23.1. 23.1 is on page 70. Gives you examples of clauses that start with the relative pronoun. And then for quis, quid, this is on page 23. There's some examples there. It looks like everything's on page 23 for the quis, quid. So I think that's the end of our video. Practice your chanting. Any questions or you want to do some examples in class, just let me know. I just wanted to play with the sound effects. Hope you have a good evening.